again, everyone. We're playing Torrents of the Spellhoarder at Elder Brain's channel with April, Joe, John, and Tommy. I'm Gabor, your DM, and I would like to ask our kind players to please present their characters.
Hello, I am playing Mayra, Deepscar of the Azure Abyss. She is a Triton, Oath of the Open Sea Paladin.
I am Joe. I'll be playing Rax, who is a Ranger Wormslayer.
Hi, I'm John. I'll be playing Ko, the Echo Knight that's glad that he works in a D&D system where sleep restores everything.
Hi, Tommy here. I'm playing Ferromalars, the young bronze dragon.
Welcome.
Roar.
And tail slap, and wing blast. So, all four of you, stranded on the island of Kirku, survived the onslaught of Morgar against the Seedy Contessa, the ship that took you from Driel for 5-6 weeks now, and it's been destroyed, absolutely annihilated by the Kraken Necromancer, which came either for the Shell Relic, which is now in Joe's pocket, or Rex's pocket, I'm sorry, or just wanted to vent its frustration. These motivations and backgrounds need to be explored further later. For now, it's there are more imminent needs. We need to survive and get out of this island, which has been told by Captain Giggs is an island inhabited by tribal minotaurs. It is near the Isles of Centaurus, but it's still far to just go swimming there. You need to find a way to get there, and you need to find a way to survive on this island, which holds many secrets and mysteries. So you're on the shore in your in Mera's extra dimensional tent, which is cozy and sufficiently cold inside. You are spending the night's rest there. You hear, if you go outside, of course, only then you hear the sounds of the jungle. It's humid, it's warm outside. Ferromalars is snoring softly as he sleeps, and the sky is lit by a billion stars. And what do you guys do? It's dawn in the morning rise.
I know one of the last things that we did is he slid the shell relic over to, I think it was over to Mayra. It was either Mayra or Ko, but I think it was Mayra. He slid the shell relic over because they were going to take a look at it. Yes. That's the last thing I remember.
Yep. They have.
Oh, that's right. Lars and Mayra were looking at it overnight and trying to see if they could divine anything further.
Yes. You've been unable to comprehend the inscription, the text on it, which you know is in Deep Sea Elvish, which has been told by the merchant Solmi of Alonso. He revealed that it's in Deep Sea Elvish. Mera can recognize some signs of Aquan language in it, and Ferromalars can definitely see the Elvish runes, but they are different, and you both try to put your knowledge together, and you're not able to decipher it. So that's that. And once you attune to it, once you focus on it, you realize that this magic item allows you to move and breathe underwater. So it gives you underwater adaptation for quite a long time, 8 hours. What you also wanted to explore or investigate is, first of all, of course you have the Co has the bag of holding of Lord Pretus Merkra, the Kraken cultist who called Morgar and who admitted calling Morgar to the Sadic Contessa. So the body is in the bag of holding where we stuffed it. And then what else? I don't think there's anything else to explore right now. Of course.
I have a quick question about the body, because we said that we had an interest in making sure that it couldn't be revived or, brought back as undead or anything like that. Since it's in the bag of holding, and the bag of holding is an extra dimensional space that it's like in a demi-plane, that should barring, magic that reaches across the planes or anything.
Yes.
Just like the basics, like animate or some kind of spell.
Well, it would be, well, you don't know about necromancy and the art of necromantic spells, but you are pretty sure. Also, you can roll for an Arcana check while I'm lowering the shutters. 1 sec.
Now it gets serious.
Yeah, I don't know how magic works. It's pretty fantastic.
Don't worry, you know quite a lot about other stuff.
All the gods.
Okay, so you think it needs to be touched or manipulated. You think it's safe in there, right? So it's in the bag. It's a body in the bag. It's good.
Where bodies should be.
Where you put them.
You said it's morning time? Is that right?
It is, yes.
I think Rax is going to head over to Ko. And what is Ko? That's so funny. I'm so concerned always about interrupting people. So I'm like, well, I don't want to interrupt him if he's in the middle of something.
No,
you never know.
Never know.
Enclosed in his shell.
Sorry, what's he doing?
He'd probably, like, everybody getting going, he would go outside because there's the most space. And this has got to be the perfect turtle weather. You got some humidity, you got some sand, you got some water. It's got all the elements. I think he'd be breathing in deep and letting that heat soak in, getting some of that cold-bloodedness off of him and getting the warmth in and all that. So he'd be outside just kind of waking up.
Great. Head over to Ko. Oi, Ko.
Yes, sir.
I thought maybe you and I could do a bit of tumbling this morning. Eh?
Oh, okay.
Bit of blood going. Show me a little bit what you know. I'll show you how we do things down in the bar.
I like
a bit of fun. Nice way to start the day, eh?
Yes.
No punching in the face. That's where I do all my business.
Yeah, I was going to say no moneymaker, no underwear zone, right?
Sounds good. I don't know what underwear is. Let's go.
Amazing.
I don't have any use for it.
Neither do I.
Just like some morning kind of grappling. He really wants to, seeing how Ko fights and everything. I think is pretty fascinating for Rax. And then seeing the fight with him and Jade on the boat, and he was like, "That's actually a great idea. Like, I haven't just practiced or trained with anybody for like ever. He's always been so practical with his approach to how he does everything, and like." For whatever reason, like training is probably he did it a couple of times when he was younger, and it's all been survival since then. So he's like, I could really learn some stuff, and this is a great way to kind of work out in the morning. So yeah, just a little grappling, a little punch throwing, and then I don't know, maybe we'll get some we'll do some sword work tomorrow or something. Anyway,
all right, so warm up.
Lars also looks on with interest, but stretches very slowly as his huge form rises, and says, "A morning swim is the best to get your blood circulation going."
That sounds good.
Jumps in the water and takes a swim.
All right, let's see the practice sparring, the
I love
morning
it.
sparring. Let's see one full rounds rolls, please. So
Oh.
so you can, I don't know how many attacks you each make, but that defines your
Yeah.
attack speed, sort of.
Well, I didn't think that far ahead. I figured we just
Oh.
role play it out.
Let's see how it
we could
goes.
we could roll too.
Yeah,
Go for it, Co.
I'm glad we're rolling now to get the bad rolls out.
That's right.
Co must be sore because I rolled low on everything. I don't think I hit highest of 13.
Mhm.
Oh, I'm not wearing any armor whatsoever yet. So
Well,
he's just bare AC, which is a 13, which
Oh.
is my AC.
One hit. I'm not using my shield, so I got 17. But
Oh, complete whiff on my end. Whoa. Like
right.
right over, take it in the gut. Oh, it's a good
It's
shot.
faster than I thought.
Oh, now that smarts.
Slow
don't-
motion.
I definitely don't use my claws because I don't want to scratch them up. It's just more of
Of course.
a hand hit.
Yeah, just signaling the hit. And first, what's your constitution, guys?
Ooh. Modifier or Constitution?
Whichever.
Okay, +3.
Okay, Rex, 3.
Same.
So you can you do 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So you get really exhausted at the same time. So like after like 3-4 minutes, you can feel it. At the 5th, you're like, all right, we're warmed up, and then you go look for a breakfast or something. Oh, mentioning food and rations, you get you start to get hungry.
Lars goes fishing.
Oh, that'll be
In that
good with
case.
the session.
Give us a survival check, please.
Survival check.
Mayra would have when Lars mentioned the swim. She's totally down for that. Down under the sea. So she would have gone swimming as well, and also doing some fishing.
I believe that's going to be an ongoing joke, is it not?
That's no fish this morning. Only kelp. So I come back with some kelp.
Yay.
Mary could also make a survival check or a wisdom check if you're not proficient with survival.
It's a natural.
A 20.
Yeah, so total on survival would be 22.
All right, so you see Ferromalar swimming in, just open sea, coldest area, absolutely no reason to go fishing there, kind of direction. And then you go, oh, you need to go to the corals, and then you go to the, to where the fish gather, and with your trident you quickly, catch a lot of fish, and it's quite a lot. So you can with 22 you can sustain all 4 of you for a day's meal. So you go out, you bring them out, you go back, and then you return again. So it's quite a good catch that you have there. Of course, it's all raw fish, so you need to do something with them.
What's wrong with raw fish?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you got them. You just make the fillet and start chewing. I guess Ko is down with that. I don't.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
Rex is the only one who would probably need some have some work on those raw meat.
Yeah, some sushi rice with the
Yeah, John had to
Lars-
do a deep dive on what turtles do and don't eat because it's like, oh yeah, raw food works.
raw food is the best. Lars loves raw fish,
All right, Rex, you
especially
begin.
the jowls.
I mean, you do what you got to do, right? I'll eat it.
Right.
I'll eat it.
So it's quite tasty actually, and you're done with food for today. So you can pack it up. It will last for a while. What do you guys do? It's all blazing sun. The jungle is lush and green, and it's full of noises. Birds chirping and you can hear movement, in the jungle. So it's all alive, and the weather is pretty nice. It's humid, it's hot, but it's a calm morning. No storms or whatever.
Ko's fighter nature would definitely take in of like extra stretches because it realizing lots of walking, lots of jungle, being loose and limber would be in that, and would offer if anybody feels stiff to help work them out, because this is a calm before the next storm. We've had a good night's sleep, we've had some food. The next part of the journey is going to be rough, it seems. Kind of procrastinating a little bit and enjoying some sun and a good little fight for a warm-up.
So one of these tiles on the map is a bit more than a half a mile. So for you to measure distances.
Okay.
Right. And we are.
You're where the crossed swords are.
Okay.
Northwest corner.
Yeah, I see it. So, Lars, when you surveyed yesterday, what did you see? Any signs of... There's supposed to be minotaurs here, we know that, but did you see any signs of civilization, habitation?
Go ahead, tell them the landmarks.
Lars says the cloud cover was too thick, but we can have another look. It seems clear today.
Okay.
Rex, do you want to also see the bird's eye view? Or I should say dragon's eye view.
I wouldn't mind it. See if what we can spot, make a plan.
So I allow
honestly,
Rex to...
I'm going to say Rax's perception is not amazing. I mean, I can pick things out of the air just fine with Celeste, and I can do a bit of hunting, but who's got a truly great eye for noticing fine details?
It's the dragon.
It's definitely the dragon.
Yeah, Lars laughs at that.
I am going to go ahead and take out...
Let's do it.
Yeah. A spyglass. I think Rax has one as well. But this is pull out a spyglass, and it has a very faint shimmer on it from being inlaid in gold. I'm going to assume that among this group, they're familiar enough that it's very easily, that it's not actually gold, it's peridite. Is that it's fool's gold. Mm-hmm. So it provides a nice little ornamentation. If you like to use this, and I will show him, entirely up to you. You can rotate a ring. She shows him how to rotate a ring at the front. And what it does is you're looking through it. If you rotate it at front, it turns the view so that you're now seeing behind.
Oh, so we can see if someone's sneaking up behind us.
It's
very nice.
Keeps you from having to turn around. It can be tactical, or it can just be less effort. So it works in both directions, but
thank you.
Rearview mirror.
As objects may be closer than they appear. Thank you, Myra.
I have it. I have it. It's a shipwright's watch, so that's my.
I love it. Thank you, Myra. I will put it to good use and get it right back to you. Right, let's do it, buddy.
All right, Lars gets closer to the ground to allow Rex to climb on his back, and takes to the air way up high.
All right, so Rax, you again mount the dragon. There is this huge wing buffet, and you need to hold very, very tight, and it just rapidly takes to the air. with tremendous speed, and you go by the coastline, and you go kind of in the middle of the area, so in the middle of the green. So it
Roll a
takes
check.
you every distances. Every tile is 2 minutes of travel for you. Okay. So just calculate. So it could be, maybe even 2, 3, 4 hours for to go to the rocky hilly part and back. So it's a couple of hours. They are gone. I show you the main landmarks. And when they return, this is what they're going to say. Or tell you about. This one here. Can you see my marker on the map?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this one here, let me check 1 sec. It's not easy to be everywhere at the same time. 1 second. So that area is okay. Got it. It looks like a village, so it's some sort of construction. I mean, like buildings. Also, it looks a bit strange with a lot of walls or fences or whatever there is, but it's definitely some sort of a village there. The other one that you see is look at this area. As you can see, there's a clearing in the jungle. This area from the
I
air.
think is it that one or the one?
Yeah, please bear with me. That's some ruins, okay?
Okay.
Those are some ruins, and then the next one that you can see is some sort of a camp, a very small camp actually here. Oops, that's not the tool I want to use. Here, there's a camp of tents from above. They are quite big tents. So this is a village. These are some ruins. These are some tents, but a small collection of tents only. And again here, more ruins. Actually, a quite
What
spread out.
kind of things?
So the one here, as you can see on the image as well, so on the map as well, so it's an extensive, big collection of, like, maybe you would even call it an ancient ruined city, sort of quite a large area.
This is in addition to the camp. There's the camp, the ruins, the village, and now this ruined city.
Small ruins. Yeah. I'm sorry. Village, small ruins, a very small camp, and the large area. Actually, the jungle has grown over it, so you can see within the jungle.
Oh, okay.
It's a big. It must have been a city, but it's really just ruins now. Even from the air, you can see. Of course, you can see the rocky slopes of this rocky hill. You can see some lowlands or some swampy area on this island if you're looking at my map here, and these are the main landmarks that you can
Gotcha.
Are
see.
there?
And then you return in, let's say, 3.5 hours.
Sorry, are there any signs of habitation in the village? So like smoke, or is this?
Yeah,
is it
you can see.
active?
Yeah, you can.
It's
you
an
can-
active
you-
place. Yeah?
Yes, you can see smoke. You can even see some movement, right? So as soon as you see it's a village, you kind of go higher so that you don't.
And
show
anything
yourself.
with the spyglass? Can we get any more of an idea of?
Of course.
Yeah, there seems to be. Go ahead.
roll for a perception check, please.
Okay, great. Takes me too long. Okay, here we go.
Don't worry.
One second. Oh, thanks.
And our viewers are super patient.
Oh, good gravy.
Good.
Do I get advantage with the spyglass?
I don't know what the spyglass does actually, but I think it just allows you to look
See
further into this
closer.
Yeah.
That
What's-
would be a 9 on my
in
perception check.
tall. Yeah, well, there is movement. It's a village, definitely active, inhabited.
Sounds good.
There's smoke. You can see these large structures. That was the word I was looking for. Structures, large structures. But then there are some strange roads or walls or fences in between. It's a bit more packed than a normal village. You know, you don't see structures and then there's space in between. You see structures and
Right.
there are walls in between. Looks
Right,
like
daily life. There's daily life in this village.
it kind of looks like a maze from above
Mhm.
Or a labyrinth.
or a labyrinth. And the structures are big.
Gotcha. I know the island is inhabited by. There's a Minotaur population. Does that look like what's walking around down there? Are we spotting that, or do they look like human beings, or they
They're
look like other humanoids?
Yeah, they look like humanoids. They have 2 feet, 2 arms.
Mm.
You can't really spot too many details, and you can't see too many
Okay.
details.
Great.
Maybe Feromilars can make a better perception check.
That'd be great.
Oh, that's a 21.
21, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Whereas-
so you know you're moving.
Well, it looks like there's nothing. Let's turn around.
just some people with horns on their heads.
Yeah, you can see these are minotaurs there, so you can see their shape. You know, you're moving from cloud to cloud, kind of hiding like cat in the bog or whatever, but up in the air. And yeah, you don't want to get too close, but you can see these are large structures in the middle of a labyrinthine village sort of layout, and they are minotaurs, and there's like several dozen of them moving around.
Does Lars see that we've been spotted? So
No, you have not been
No,
spotted.
we haven't. Okay. So we
That's
go
not
back. I guess
fair.
we should return to the others and report what we saw.
Oh, you know what? I
Right.
add one more detail. You can see with the 21, you can see a large statue of a horned humanoid shape in the middle
Of the village.
of the village.
Since we've got a few hours, and I think Mayra and Co would know that they're going to go on a deep dive. Co's been curious about that naming ceremony and would give Mayra some time, but like at a somewhat convenient spot. Can we talk a little bit? Mayra?
Me? Oh, sorry.
She's occupied in her prayers.
Which full RP I know. I usually say
right. Mayra's in deep contemplation, thinking about plans
Come
and
back later,
strategies.
baby.
Like,
I'll come back.
oh, yes. What is it, Co?
Yeah, your naming ceremony. I love that you gave me that thought and that challenge. Can you tell me a little bit more about yours? About how you got your name? Because
Well,
I know it's important to you and it has brought strength to us. But in finding my own name, I wonder what it would look like, and just knowing your story would help me.
well, as I said, among my people, we have the rite of the first trench. This is our first rite of passage where we go alone to prove ourselves to ourselves and to also find the first step in the journey to our destiny.
Mm.
So with it is a ceremonial quest meant to challenge us, and as I said, reveal our destiny as well. along.
Oh, so intense we lost her.
Yeah, she woke up.
Ko is hanging on the silence and meditating deeply.
Can you teleport, please? Oh, he does. She's back. She's back.
Yes.
It's very mystical and dark. So that's
Yeah.
Torrents.
Yeah.
So that was it. Now you know.
She's got some Echo Knight in her. And so, within your people, you train, you anticipate. I mean, do you literally go into a trench and fight your way out? What was? And feel free if this is overstepping, let me know. I'm just
No, these are not secrets. They're certainly intensely personal and meaningful to my people. But there's nothing secret about a youth challenging themselves and setting themselves on a path of purpose. There is no actual trench. That is symbolic. It's referred to as the rite of the first trench because throughout your life, you will face many challenges and obstacles. You will face many hardships. And sometimes, in order to overcome those, you have to delve deep within yourself. So the rite of first trench is not only speaking to overcoming a challenge and an obstacle, but also going deep within yourself and reaching into your own depths in order to overcome these challenges.
I know this is unorthodox, but with our history, our foursome has a history. You know, we fought much, but this almost feels like our first trench as a group. We've decided and we're dedicating to do something, but we haven't fully decided and dedicated. Would it be right and fitting that we maybe finalize this and talk about this as our first trench, and then come out with our name shortly and soon on this adventure together? Does that seem fitting to you?
That is I would say it does seem fitting. I've never explored it in that way, and I've never had anyone propose it in that way. But yeah, a group coming together, forming bonds and ties. And
we're an unorthodox group, and we need to form some solid thoughts in our what's happening next. Sorry.
Well, of course. Well, hopefully, when Lars and Rax return, they will have news that there is a ship or boat somewhere on this island, or the means to procure some kind of transportation so that we can continue on our journey to this to Xanthros, in order to respond to quite a few things there. And we've seen this Margar long been a blight and should be dealt with, and is obviously planning something. Don't believe, from what Lars and I were able to discover about the relic and its purpose, I don't believe that's what Morgar was after. Whatever Pretus, Nekra, this false lord, whatever he was doing for Morgar, I don't believe the relic actually had anything to do with it. Unless the writings can somehow are not related to the relic's magic.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, and creatures and would-be gods always want more power wherever they can find it. Yeah. Well, when they get back, I would like to discuss the forming in our first trench. I love the sound of kind of us facing Morgar for the first time, being almost our first trench. But I don't know, not knowing the ceremony and not wanting to rush the grandeur of it all. Focus It's going to be hard for the next little bit.
I would say that the biggest part of the first trench is if you found purpose in confronting, then there you found your answer.
Oh, right.
So,
Rex is very supportive.
time passes.
Yep.
You stay at the tent, near the tent, all the time for this 3-4 hours.
Yeah. I mean, there's no. We would wait till they get back. My thought is.
Okay.
I think so. For Mayra, you should probably just recommend that maybe we forage some, but staying in the. We don't want to wander too far, but we also don't know how long we're going to be here, so we need a base. So continuing to forage, taking the fish, putting up stores, heading into the wood, maybe trying to, camping. We're camping, we're shoring up. Maybe figuring out how to better fortify the area,
All right, so this is
doing stuffs.
I understand. Outdoor activities. The tent stands on the shore. This is white sand beach, and the forest and the jungle gradually builds up behind it. And as you enter the jungle to look into it a bit more, to familiarize, or whatever, the word, yourself with the environment, you can see it's really dense, so it's really hard to move in there. So probably you will need blades and cut through, and undergrowth is thick, and there are vines, and of course there is lots of flora, fauna, all kinds of plants and animals just inhabiting this dense forest.
And mosquitoes.
And bzz, and whoop whoop whoop, and wah wah wah, and all kinds of sounds and noises. And please roll a nature skill check. And so one thing you can immediately say is that either you walk with normal pace or semi-normal pace in the sand, or if you delve into the jungle, it's going to be difficult terrain. It's going to be slowing you down for sure. So that's half the movement. Roll nature checks, please.
I rolled a 10.
Which is a 10 in total.
12.
That's the total as well, right? No modifiers to that.
Yeah, no modifier.
All right, so it's a jungle, right? What strikes Cole after like half an hour of going deeper and with your sword cutting through the vines and moving into the jungle. Sometimes it's easier to move, sometimes it's harder. Of course, it's on an average that you move half your speed. At one point you see these strange fruits, and you've never seen these before anywhere or heard of them. I'm going to show you an image of our beautiful flora here. Well, you don't see all of these, but you see these strange yellow fruit. You see on the right,
Yeah.
like a bush of, like as if they were eyes. So that's why Cole just suddenly strikes a defensive posture, and hey, wait, something is in the bushes, and then you see it's nothing. It's just berries that look like eyes. You see, there's a close up here.
Yeah.
And this is the actual bush.
I would definitely new fauna, pick it, give it a smell. I mean, it hasn't attacked me, so it may be food.
Yeah. Okay, so it smells a bit sour. It looks like they're the size of plums, maybe.
Oh.
And they are quite juicy, so they look like a very thin layer of a skin on the fruits on the bush, and there's this blackish eyeball sort of, or iris sort of formation on all of these. Just one on each berry. They don't move, of course. It's not an eye. It's just a strange large berry.
Having a little bit of sense, but not too much, Ko would say, "Hey, Mayra, I want to try this. Would you be able to help me if it's poisonous?"
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Once he hears yes, the rest doesn't matter. Down the hatch.
Wait, he didn't. She didn't help yet.
Afterwards, if it's poisonous.
Don't worry, if you get poisoned, I got you covered.
Oh, if it's okay, I got you.
Yeah, if it's poisonous, yeah. If it's yeah.
So yeah,
Mayor's like, yeah, I can help you out tomorrow, and he's like, great.
No, I thought he wants her to detect it. You know. So you put it in your. First of all, it smells sour, a bit sourish, and then you put it in your mouth. It's big, right? So it's like a plum, and then you snap it between your teeth, and it immediately explodes in your teeth, in your mouth, and it hurts really, really badly. There's this explosion, a bit of smoke. You take 1 point of damage.
Yes.
Fire damage, yeah?
Can you check for me, please?
Yeah, fire damage.
Fire damage.
1 point of fire damage.
1 point of fire damage, and it tastes. You can only taste your own blood.
In a 5-foot radius, by the way.
Oh yeah, so it's a big blast.
It's like Ko's breathing fire for just a split
Yeah.
second.
How's it taste?
Bad idea.
Your mouth hurts. Your tongue's burned.
Might be good to keep things away. Mild poison. I'm okay, but no eat.
Did that berry just explode in your mouth?
And the sour went hot, and the hot had to get out. Yeah, that's no. We stay away from them, but it could be useful.
I've heard of flavor explosion. Now I understand.
Yes, but usually when someone describes a flavor explosion, they mean it in a good way, like a delight, not a negative. That was definitely a negative and not worth repeating.
Interesting. Go down and look at the berries. This is absolutely fascinating to her that these are exploding plants.
There is on the bush. There are 9 of these berries.
Pick one up. Pluck one off.
I'm sorry?
And then take it and throw it.
Yeah.
On like you're throwing a like a firecracker, like a black cat.
And it
Throw
exactly does that. It when you throw it against a tree, it just explodes in a 5-foot radius. There's fire, and there's heat, and there's a bit of smoke. And
Does it make a sound?
No. Not really.
It doesn't. Ooh.
I mean, it does make some sound, but it's not like an explosion and thunderous blast.
Right.
You know, it's just bursts into flame, rather. You know.
Well, what does it do to the tree?
Well, it's a wet jungle environment, so it doesn't necessarily. It doesn't deal so much damage that it burns
Right.
the tree, or it starts flaming, or whatever. If you would throw it in, in hay, it would probably, catch fire.
Right.
Seeing that, Ko would say it definitely would have its uses in things, but not worth eating.
There's 7 more of these berries there.
All right.
Ko at this point is wondering if he can prank Rax. It's just like, no, I wouldn't do that.
It's a painful prank. Your teeth.
What 1 hit point between friends is okay?
I think Rax would be the person that he would take a bite. It would happen, and then he would go, "Maybe I did it wrong," and then we'll try it again.
After his beard is singed off.
Yeah.
Alright.
So, what do you guys do?
Yeah, so I think Mara is significantly intrigued of the what the uses for these berries could be. We don't know what their shelf life is, um, but go ahead and pluck the berries, and then take out a little extra pouch or whatever, and just kind of
Right.
toss them in there.
It's a you plug these and take these berries, large berries from the spiky tall bush, and they are I tell you it's statistics. So their name is Drake Eye Berry, and each of these deal D4 points of fire damage, or half as much on a successful DC 10 dexterity saving throw in a 5-foot radius area. So DC 10 dexterity. Now, obviously Cole didn't roll the save because it was in his mouth.
Yeah, it's hard to dodge that.
And D4. And if you throw a handful, which is 6 or more, then it's a bigger blast. It's 6d4 points of fire damage, or half as much on a DC 16 dexterity saving throw.
In a 10-foot radius.
In a 10-foot radius, sorry. Yeah,
Okay, so 10-foot radius, and what was the damage?
6d4, and the DC is 16 in this case.
That makes sense. It's
So
basically
higher DC. It's you can throw a handful of these, and they all go pop 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 pop. And you have 7 of these. Okay. All right, Drake Eye berries. Again, otherwise the jungle is just looks normal, so nothing. But one more thing maybe, and that's something you heard on the ship from Captain Giggs, or the stories, or whatever. That it's really dense. It's really lush. Things are the leaves are bigger. The greens are greener. It has something of that Fayish heritage, which infuses everything from the essence of the dragon Santaros. That's body has the whole region has formed out of its body, so it infuses everything. All the fruits are bigger, everything is larger and more like infused with this.
Oh, so this is considered. Oh, okay. I didn't realize. So this entire, starting from here, this entire chain of islands in the surrounding area around Xanthros are all part of Xanthros. Sorry, I completely missed that.
Yes, sort of. You are not fully aware of the extent of that, but now it comes together that these fruits, normal fruit that you can see, like whatever mangoes that you find, which you can find and very tasty and all that, they're bigger. They taste sweeter. They are more vibrant in color. All the leaves are vibrant. The ends are bigger, not like huge or extravagantly extraordinarily large. It's just everything is more lush. Everything is more lively and sort of infused with this energy that comes that is described in the stories about the region, which comes from the essence of Santaros infused, which is a primordial fey dragon from ancient history.
Especially
you said Giggs has said so. So whatever you don't know, Giggs has revealed to you.
Well, especially you clocking through, Co would make sure he picks up like an extra, like one for him later, and an extra one for Rax, just like in sweets and giving treats. He's got plans on how to make a tea, but knows that's going to take longer.
Mm-hmm. So you got the mangoes, you got some other stuff, some spice, and you got the Drake Eye berries, and you return to your tent and you talk and chit chat, maybe even walk around a bit, or just practice or contemplating prayer, whatever, and then you hear the flap of wings and can see Feromalars and rests on Feromalars' back, and they land, and the white sandy beach just turns into this dust. It's white sand in the air everywhere, and it settles, and they walk toward the tent.
Oh, we got to build something to put on the back. Maybe a rope, something to hold on to. Oh, I am rather impressed at my own grip strength. I feel like I did a good job that time, hanging on. That's a long time in the air, my friend, and you are quite the adept flyer. Although I will say, the little spins and turns, they got quite hairy for a few times. I'm glad I got good boots, but good gravy. If we ever have a chance to do any sort of races, I don't know if your kind do races in places, but you'd be quite good at it, rather fast.
I would like to add one note here. I was thinking that you don't twist and don't turn because he falls off. You have a stiff hand and stiff leg for holding on, but if you create some sort of a
Saddle?
a saddle, yeah, for Feromalars, then that could help a lot.
We will
Tommy,
have to
your
gently
reaction.
approach the idea.
Yes,
I got to tell you, before we go into the tent, like looking at Lars, I've got to tell you, the idea of a saddle has crossed my mind. But let me say this: I don't like dragons. I don't like them one bit. I've seen them burn friends to death. I've seen them burn people down to nothing. And I've seen good dragons do a bit of bad as well. You are quite a great dragon, which sets you apart from all others of your kind, at least in my own experience. And I'm glad we're friends. And you're making me think a little differently about all this. And anywho, I appreciate all the good that you've done. And it feels like it's nice to be on a team with a dragon instead of chasing one down to, take its head and put it on some fancy lad's wall. I'm glad to know you the way I do.
Me too. Sometimes it must be done. But
Unfortunately.
you're one of the nicest humans I've known. And I haven't known too many.
Well, I do appreciate that. We do need a few more Raxes in the world. I don't disagree with that. Heading inside with all the information that we have.
All right, so they tell them. Go ahead.
We found some natives.
We did. We found it with the kind with phones. Moving around the area.
See what you did there?
Oh. I've been at a high altitude for too long. But I did sketch a bit of a map. Look at this.
Oh, good.
Put it down, and the map is not great. It's really just like a big circle then it has some words off to the side that like, he'll be back. John's coming back. There he is. The magic of the internet. With a list, we've got a camp. There's a village. There's a bunch of ruins. There's a huge thing buried underneath the jungle. Looks like it used to be a big old town, and all ruins now. But one village is quite active. Lars might be able to communicate a bit more. But thanks for the spyglass. Hand it back to Mayra.
Put it back in my back.
Let's roll some nature checks here for minotaurs. Well, Cole doesn't know much about minotaurs.
Nope, I have no bonus.
13.
Feromalars, on the other hand, is very, very familiar with minotaurs. And he amazes everybody else with his stories. Because you don't know anything about this topic, but Feromalars tells you a few things. First of all, these creatures are, of course, large, bull-headed, muscular, wise, and very tough. They are also vile creatures. So
Yeah, cautionary tales. So Lars tells some dark tales. Best beware of the minotaurs.
yes. Also tell them about their religion,
Yeah,
please.
worshippers of Baphomet, and spawned from the abyss itself. You should be careful around minotaurs.
And that's what he knows. That's what's important.
What?
And do we know who Baphomet is?
Or you can again roll a religion check to see how familiar you're with the name. Well, he says,
Or we could just ask Lars.
yeah, he says that this is a demon lord. So
Okay.
Oh,
if that's enough, that's enough. If you want to know more,
Right.
Maybe we don't stop to ask for directions then.
Did you see any boats or ships or other signs of something that we could use to move across the sea? All right.
No.
I understand, Rax, that not talking to them seems the way, but how would you suggest we procure a ship without engaging in talking?
Here's my thought on that.
Well,
Okay.
it doesn't seem like they have any ships, right? There are no ships or boats,
no.
right?
No,
But they
we
might-
haven't seen them.
If we're going to communicate with them, if we're going to interact with these people, here's my idea, and I'm going to just throw it out. All ideas are valid. I would suggest we go to the camp instead of the village. Go to the camp, it's a smaller number to deal with, maybe one person, maybe two, three, as opposed to a village that has its own laws, rules, and all that stuff. We're already living in a place that is not opposed to the idea of slavery. We got ourselves a big old dragon, and we got some interesting characters. We might be of value to them in a way that doesn't benefit ourselves. So if we go to the camp, we deal with fewer folks, might get more information. We go to the village, we might run the risk of a rather large brawl.
I enjoy your wisdom as always.
They're
No
quite-
one's ever accused me of being wise. I do appreciate that.
Was there any way of, one, did you see if there was activity at the camp? Those were in fact minotaurs at this camp?
We didn't see anybody there.
No movement.
No, just a village. And it was amazing. I'm done. That's all I,
Have I told
that's all I
you
got.
I love you?
Man, you're doing great.
That's all I got.
So yeah, the village, you could not really go into details with the village. So you could see movement, you could see they're probably minotaurs, right? So you see their sizes and the maze-like structuring of it and all that, but no details. You didn't really see. You didn't really go close to it. The camp itself, it's only a few tents. So it's like 3, 4, 5 tents that you've seen from the air. They are again, you saw them from very, very far. The city ruins seems like a sprawling city, a couple of miles across, so it's big. It's been overgrown by the jungle, so it's probably ancient ruins. What else did you see? The smaller ruins were just a few rock formations, you know, not really anything large or well, it was like the camp. So it was like a few structures standing on the edge of a clearing. Probably that's why you spotted it, because it was a jungle clearing and some stone structures there.
What about the rest of you? What's your idea? Now knowing the layout.
I agree with avoiding the village. I think avoiding the village is a good plan. Perhaps we can find something at this camp. I have a rowboat, so we can move along the interior as opposed to moving along the outside of this atoll. Is it an atoll? What's an atoll? I don't know. What is this island?
Oh, nice word.
Yeah.
So that'll keep us out of the open sea. So less turbulence for the boat. It's just a small rowboat, but it should be enough for the three of us. So if we can move along the interior, we could make way to this camp. As I said, maybe take a closer look and see.
Would
See
you
if there's something.
stay by the? I suggest we stay by the coastline as much as possible.
Yes. So my thought is, let's see if I can mark on here without moving your map around. That'll move it. I don't want to move it. I just want to.
Is the icon above the letter T, like the text icon? Is this little?
The pointer. The one that says pointer.
Mm-hmm.
So what I am thinking is we travel. Can y'all see that?
Mm-hmm.
We travel here.
I don't see it actually. I'm sorry. Wait. Go ahead.
She's
Yeah,
talking
now I
about
see. Now I
going
see
on
it.
the
Yeah,
interior.
I see it.
Yeah, so that we're moving along here, and then when we get to the village, we can kind of figure out how to maybe minimize detection. But the main thing was for the boat. I mean, we can either travel by boat if that's easier. We can hoof it if that's easier. The main thing that I was kind of thinking of is because there's these, the spaces here that at some point we're going to have to cross water. So however we want to travel, if we want to do any of that on water, I do have a rowboat.
Mayra, once we get back, I must know all your merchant contacts. My village would profit much with your people.
Oh, well, I've spent a great many years traveling and collecting and learning the value in having select items available. This particular one is, I'm sure at some point I'll recall where I picked it up, but she pulls out a little satchel that has cloth patches, and the patches themselves are shapes of different items, and one of them or two of them on there are little patches of rowboats. It's a satchel of useful items. It's an uncommon magic item. So
Costs and UPC code. All right. So
you,
first,
you remove the patches and we all
are you moving? Do you start moving?
Oh, well, Co would want to take a moment after kind of like a little bit of direction, keying in off of Rax, kind of saying, what's our play? I've been thinking, while we have several plays that we just have to do for survival, whatever we do, Mayra's tradition of earning a name seems fitting to kind of place in our company right now. We have some direction, we have some course, but the call's bigger than just a little bit of survival. Our first trench, to use the terms of her people, is coming upon us, and name and thought and what we really want to do is in front of us. And while I know we're all thinking about safety, what is it, this trench that we face together? What do we think we want to do? Do we want to put down this would-be god? Do we want to take the mantle of what they've said, make the contacts, or is this just about survival?
That's a great question. I mean, I could say I'm in no shape or condition to face down, Morgar or any of that stuff, but but who knows? I mean,
You might not be, but Celeste is.
right? You know the problem. You know the problem with that is Celeste is always ready for it. I just, thankfully, She knows what she's doing more than I do. But what's the purpose? What are we doing? Do we just want to get off this island and go back to our business? Or yeah, that's a deep thought. Man, that's a lot to think about. I don't know what the greater purpose is. We started off just going to get some money to go see somebody, but now we're sort of in the thick of it. We know things we didn't know. Lots of things we didn't want to know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
So, and I don't know from the Rax camp. Lars and Mayra, where are your hearts at?
Well, I would say that my purpose remains where it was, where I would like to continue on to Xanthros. There is a Saguan invasion, quite possibly, or did we already determine that that's kind of being pushed by Morgar? We don't know, or that's just that would be just an assumption on Mayra's part. Okay,
big assumption.
Yeah, possibly being pushed by what is now appearing to be some kind of movement from Morgar that is unusual. Gix did say that he traveled these waters for years. Morgar has never emerged at this time. Kretis.
Gix said many things. The halfling. Too many things sometimes.
I agree.
So we don't think that he had any experience in fact, traveling these waters?
Lars shrugs.
There's one
This
proof.
is where it got us.
There's been one proof of at least one other journey that he took with Soldier Influenza. But Soldier Influenza actually said that he traveled with Gix a couple of times.
Okay,
so he does this trip once a year, so that's been probably 2-3 journeys already that both of them confirmed.
So what seems to be unusual activity confirmed by Pretus saying that he was doing something in service to Morgar. There's obviously something there to investigate. As for now, my intention is to continue the journey to Xanthros and to see what is there, to see more about, if nothing else, there is a advocacy for slavery on this island. There is an invasion of these Sagua. So who would go and deal with these? The sea devils, the devils of the sea, that we know to be vile creatures. So I want to continue on that path. For now, we're stuck on this island and we need to find a way off. So,
Mayor, as always, your thoughts inspire and give direction and course and remind us of the good that we should do in this world. Lars, what about your opinion? Where are you at with all that is in front of us?
Yeah, Lars looks around and says, I definitely don't think this is a good place to make our lair.
I agree, and the quicker we get off of here, the better.
Well, in that case, it sounds like are we in agreement that we're going to move into this camp and explore the camp and see what we can find there? Okay.
Yes.
In that case, Mayra would go over and the supplies and food that we put in the tent, go ahead and get those packed up, and then break the tent back into the rod and put the rod back in her bag. So
yeah, absolutely. Pack up.
Been broken.
Yeah, I thought you wanted to say something. So you undo the tent, which magically just disappears, and all of these fish that you had, and the mangoes, which you haven't greeted Raxon, or which you have greeted Raxon and Lars with, and also you probably show the Drake-eye berries and tell them about its functionalities, and then you pack up and you cross the land, this small piece of land, that leads to the other side or the either side of the of the of the water, and then you remove the patch, throw it in the water, and there's a rowboat with oars, I guess, and it fits all four of you, I guess, or three of you
Well,
at least.
three of them, yeah. Lars flies above the boat and
Yeah.
kind of scouts, actually.
And then you move. Well, who's rowing? You're rowing. Okay. You're
I'll
supposed-
row. Actually,
row
Rax
all
wouldn't
of
row. Rax would have Celeste out, propped
Yeah.
up against the boat, just kind of keeping an eye on the shoreline as they go by.
Goes good to row.
So I would suppose Rax sits in the front because there are two shorelines on both sides. So you are just holding it to one side and watching both sides. This is okay. So again, one tile is half a mile, so it's quite a even the shores sometimes on the side are you can see these narrower areas, but sometimes it just widens up the whole thing, and you have the shore diminishing on the horizon, sort of like half a mile there, and one. Well, you keep to the southern land, right? So the shore, and you keep what distance from the shore? Like, can you give me a feet, just the distance? What distance are you from the shore? Like 50 feet, 100 feet, 10 feet?
My thought would be pretty close. That way, if combat happens, we can get to ground quick.
So this is just I'm sorry to be such metric, but it's
No.
20 feet movement per round for the rowboat. That's 40 feet. So like in one round, if you want to get to the shore, that's 40 feet from the shore. So you're moving 40 feet from the southern shores, and yeah, I show you what you see on your way. So please watch my marker here. So you move across the land here, which is half a mile. Well, we should calculate some times, actually. Can somebody calculate?
What, walking half a mile? You said if it's difficult terrain, so typically what a
This
half a
one,
mile
there's
would
no
take you
difference.
like 10 minutes to walk. So maybe say it's 15, 20 minutes if it's difficult terrain.
Yeah, so I'm assuming that this is not difficult terrain here. There's no jungle here. You see on this area, this is like grassland sort of, and you come through. The jungle starts here. So each tile is about 15 minutes by the rowboat. Okay, so that's 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you see my marker where you get to in 8 hours?
Yeah.
So you're moving pretty slowly. So you are moving this way, and then you're moving down here. This is 8 hours. How long you're rowing, and how long you're doing this?
Unless we do a forced rowing instead of a forced march. Forced row.
Well, you get really tired very soon.
Really sore.
So I would say you switch rowers, and then somebody else rows, and then you can do this for a longer time, and you have to make camp somewhere. So let me not guess. Tell me, you're starting about you had a 4 hour out. Maybe it's noon when you started. So night falls around 8 o'clock here, around here.
If this is a good, do you see where I'm starting? If this looks to be a good place to make camp,
Yeah.
then what do you guys think about making camp right there?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Let me scout the area.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes, please.
That's it. Okay, so he flies pretty quick, like 4 times quicker than your rowboat goes. So you fly around. You go here, and you take some turns here, and you go back. Please roll a perception check.
12.
All right.
That's not an 18.
It showed like an 18.
Yeah.
You have some advantages or something on coastal areas or whatever?
No, I don't think so.
That's your favorite
Coastal
thing.
area, it's yeah, there's no difficult terrain, so I can go coastal area in full speed. Can't get lost. Always alert. So I don't know what that means, but I
Cannot be
can be surprised. Yeah, and stealth at normal speed. Twice as much food if it's foraging, and improved tracking. So yeah, Lars actually lands and looks around for tracks, you know.
Okay,
And
hold on one sec. So, what you see with 12 is only one thing, that this area here, a couple of miles, like 2 mile area, is a bit, it's not. There's a break in the jungle. Here, there's no jungle on this one, and it's a bit dark, especially when watched from above, like on the map here. There are these larger and smaller dark spots, and that's
mostly
all
underwater, yeah. So it's kind of shallow water.
shallow, watery, swampy, sort of, yeah. And that's all you spot, and then this takes you like, I don't know, 15-20 minutes, half an hour, get back and all that, and you land in the water next to them and tell them what you saw.
Yeah,
and then
I tell them, and also that I found a clear area to the south, which is, or actually the southern island tip also. It's a
both, yeah.
kind of clear beach.
All right, so you're rowing this way, and I would like to ask everyone to roll a perception check again.
Thanks.
You're rolling very, very low.
16.
Okay.
All right.
I get advantage on perceptions. I've got my shield. Oh, 6. That'd be a 20.
A 20. All right. So,
Wait, April's gone. Okay.
April's gone. Oh, I need to go back.
I was hoping she'd just pop back like I did.
It's very strange. I don't see her back. I don't see her.
Mayra, you're so quiet right now.
You look to your right, and she's gone. Where is she?
God.
Was she taken, or did she go by herself?
She must have saw a fish that sounded really good from the supper.
You know, for a ranger, Rax doesn't notice a lot of stuff, and I'm kind of really enjoying that.
The whole discussion of like going counter, like a ranger that's like, yeah, I'm here, I can do things, but I can't see much. It's so
I mean,
good.
he's not trying to miss it, but I'm like, I feel like I have to come up with in character reasons for the complete lack of perception that he has, just so that it makes sense. He's like trying so hard to like, oh, we're gonna do some scouting. Now, let me see what I can find. A 4 doesn't seem to be anything, but.
All right. So, yeah, it's been 8 hours, and then it's 9 hours in the rowboat, and then Lars returns, and you know that there's probably an hour more that you need to take to this landing to break camp there. And as you're rowing, Ko just spots when you're turning into this section here, which I'm trying to show here with my blue marker on the blue, which is not really clever. I don't know how to change this. Anyway, you're turning here, and as you turn, you see a rowboat, you see a boat, but it's a big one. It's like a canoe. Actually, 2 of them, but really, really big ones, with some gigantic, humongous, huge apes sitting in them, and one of them or 2 of them rowing as a canoe, by the side. They row the canoe, and these 2 huge canoes are actually, the creatures are huge themselves. So 3 huge apes in each gigantic canoe, moving into this narrow section with their canoes, and you're coming up from behind. You can actually, Ko can see some gigantic coconuts piled up in front of the canoes. They don't seem to be armed, but they are apes in a canoe, right? So very strange.
Gorillas, apes, yeah? So
Yeah, like
big
gorillas, huge gorillas. Their backs, I will show you. Their backs are green. The fur on their backs is green. Like this. I'll show you one of them. Oh my god. Where are they?
Oh, so wait. So did Lars see this when he was scouting?
Nope.
Nope. He missed them.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And huge, so size of elephants, yeah, basically. Or
Basically, yes.
Oh.
You said they have a I'm sorry. What's the size of elephants?
These
gorillas.
these gorillas are easily what is that? Easily like 15 feet in height, each of them. Their canoe is like a gigantic boat, right? Which is like basically like almost like a ship, you know, but it's not that big. But
super crude and, you know.
yeah, like
You said they have a cannon.
no, they have
coconut.
they have
Piles
Oh,
of
coconuts.
they have these
Okay.
gigantic
Very
coconuts
close.
piled up in front
Cannon.
in front
That's
of the
right. They
ship.
got big guns.
And they don't wear anything. They don't have any weapons on them. It's just them in their 80-foot long canoes, rowing gigantic 20 feet high, humongous gorillas with this green back on their with this green fur on their back, and they are like they are rowing and
What's the distance?
the distance is like, I would say with the 20 it's 400 feet.
And we're coming perpendicular to them, kind of? So,
Yeah, like behind them. You're turning out from this outcropping, and then you just, wait, they are by the coastline. They are quite far away. Maybe not even maybe it could be because 400 feet. They're quite huge. You could spot them easily. But maybe they're 800 feet ahead, and you can even hear some of their sounds, like voices, like as if they were talking to each other, but really loud, but you can't make out what they're saying, but you can hear them talking and shouting, but it's very faint. Only Cole with the 20-something can hear this and spot this. If you tell the others, it's just two little somethings on the horizon, sort of away. I'm not sure about the distance. Maybe it's even 2 tiles away, so they are far, which makes them not easily spotted.
But clocking it and clocking their size, I think Ko would say, hey, we need to get to safety and figure out what we're doing, because these are big baddies in a whole way.
Well, we don't necessarily have to assume that they're hostile, but yes, we should be cautious.
I'll agree.
So what's the play?
And also, it's about 9 o'clock. We've been rowing for 9 hours. He's preparing Celeste.
Cleaning the cannon.
Yeah, and like you're about to reach this. Well, actually, you can already, from this outcropping, you can see this landfall where you could break camp if you wanted to stay behind.
I say we go ahead and head to shore as our plan.
They're
I
also
don't disagree.
yeah,
We don't
they're also
necessarily
quick,
need to-
so quicker than you are.
Right.
We
So we're
don't
trying
need
to hide from the apes.
No, we're just getting to camp. They're heading that way.
Okay.
I'll say we don't get involved.
Tonight.
All right. So yeah, you bring your rowboat. What's the use of this? Like daily, you can turn it back into a patch. Easily.
No, once it that would be cool. No, once it's a boat, it's a boat. So
So you need to pull it, drag it ashore.
Yeah, and it's just the mundane boat that doesn't disappear. It just stays.
Great. Please roll
We should
survival check.
cover the boat with some foliage.
Yep.
I was just thinking that myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
the survival check and making camp and finding a good place and hiding the boat all in one check.
18.
18, that's quite good. If anybody rolled higher, it's even better. You pull it into like with your teeth. You pull it in deep into the undergrowth, and then you put some leaves and
Palm
branches.
leaves, big palm branches.
Yeah, big palm branches over it, and then you move a bit into the jungle so that you're not in the open, and you I guess you recall the tent, or is that daily or Mara?
yeah.
Which
Yes. The rod can be pulled back out and used
anytime.
again.
All right. So you create the tent within the shades of this undergrowth and some trees and jungle, and then Feromars probably just stays outside. You go in and sleep. You eat the rest of the fish, some of the mango, not the drake-eye berry, and and you take watch.
Yes.
Take
Little note. Yep, sorry.
No,
I just wanted to say that if Lars would be keen to share the watch with Mira again, and suggest Mira teaches him some Aquan, so starts learning Aquan, and I don't know if you can speak Draconic, or what are your other language, or for common,
Oh,
so just-
hey, I don't have Draconic. I have Primordial, but
that's also interesting. but mostly Aquan, so very keen to learn, and you can see actually very like a drive to learn the language of the sea, which he hasn't learned yet.
Okay. So
If Ko picks up on that, Ko also speaks Aquan and would help.
Nice. So we have an Aquan workshop
a seminar.
at 4 a.m.
So you take
Lots of
turns.
slides.
You take turns. You occupy yourselves, and again.
Rax would paint some eyes on his eyelids.
Pretend to be. Okay,
Put
yeah.
some drake-eye berries on there.
And don't squeeze them too hard.
That would mimic Rax's eyes on his eyes. Just to make it look extra weird.
Right, so the apes, the emerald back apes are gone, and the morning comes, and with the dawn, you wake up, you undo the tent again magically, you stretch and you forage some. Please roll survival check, whoever does that. Maybe from Lars is
Yeah, Lars always up for some surviving.
some foraging.
I checked this actually. If you forage is D6 plus wisdom pounds of food.
Great. Just roll a d20,
20.
please. Alright, so D6 with DC 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say
Oh well, it's
2d6 plus whatever you said. So double that. And let's see how many.
that's 10 pounds of food.
Oof, that's a lot. Alright, well actually it's not that much if you're considering 4 of you plus yourself being. Or so you have plenty of food. That's fruit, some maybe even a small wild boar from the jungle.
Well, like a snake, I find like a
Anything that
a constrictor snake.
yeah for your taste, but theirs is it's different. So you need to make fire or some kind of whatever to make those edible.
yeah, the tent has that.
The fire is yeah.
in the center of it. Yeah.
So you prepare the food, you eat, and you prepare, of course, all of it so that when you break camp, you can take it away and eat during the day. And you get back you get the rowboat back into the water and continue your journey on the second day.
Small question.
Actually, third day. Yep.
The gorillas were heading south, or
South.
they had a direction, yeah,
They had this. Yeah, they were moving in this direction
towards the village.
towards the village or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and you said their boat was about 50 feet.
Even more. 60, 80,
Okay.
70. Yeah.
So potentially, I know. I thought I heard that they were rather simple,
Yes.
crude. They're kind of like canoe things.
Crude
But I'm
canoes, yeah.
thinking Viking. What are Viking boats called?
Long
The
ships.
long ship.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, with some tar and pitch to
Mhm.
buttress this could be this could be fitted for and made seaworthy.
Yeah, but also they're apes, right? Giant apes. So they are not usually used to. You're not used to seeing animals riding canoes. So that's the same strange thing about them. You continue south, and as
Joe? Did you have something?
What's it? No, I was going to say, I didn't think about this yesterday and we saw these apes, but I do have a way of communicating with beasts. I can do that if we need to. A little negotiation, I'm rather adept at it. I can do it. A bit of magic, Maybe they got boats to sell. Maybe we can buy a giant raft from them. I don't know. But I'm just saying I'm useful. I'm trying to validate my own existence on this island right now. And I feel like I just want to say that
I feel like you're having an existential crisis.
Yeah.
I'm not used to being stuck in a place, but it's long. I can talk to the gorillas if we have to.
Good.
I could do that.
all right. So you move south, and that's if you could please watch my marker here. This is 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, and I would like to ask again for perception checks, DC 20 or higher. Oh, actually, 18.
Wood.
17.
20.
Who's 20?
20.
Cool.
Go again.
I rolled a 1, looking straight up at the sky and going, "What a beautiful day to be lost in a
Existential
jungle."
crisis.
Who even am I?
Who even am I?
Why do I exist?
19 from here.
Yeah, 19.
All right, so Mara and Cole spot something in the bushes on the shore. 1 sec, I would like to roll. Okay, that's my secret little roll. So
And I would say, as we're coming through the village, we're hugging this coastline, right? That's what Mayro would have offered up, is that as we're coming by that village, we should have stayed closer to that.
okay, so I kind of, not kind of exactly. I placed the apes, if you can see on the map.
Opposite the village, yeah?
Yeah, you can spot the apes hiding. It's like midday, sort of hiding in the jungle, and definitely watching the minotaurs, right? Watching the minotaur village.
Mayro would put away the spyglass that has enabled her to see that far. The apes indicate where they are in that corner. It looks like they're monitoring the village and definitely hiding from the village. Perhaps, do we want to see about approaching them and
I like the idea.
making first contact? Right.
The
I like
apes
that
of
idea.
the village.
The apes were avoiding the village.
Okay.
The giant apes.
I have no interest in seeking to speak with followers of a demon. The only reason we would have to enter that village is to raise it to the ground.
I will prepare my negotiation tactics for dealing with gorillas.
Well, we probably want to make some kind of indication that we We come in peace.
An
Non-hostile.
small offering of food might be good.
They're huge.
Here, have this peanut.
And 6 of them.
And 6.
All I know is you never feed an apple to a gorilla like this. Be a terrible move.
So you move to these 2 little islands and approach them from the within the cover of these islands, so that you're not seen from the village, which is again miles away, so that's not easy for them to spot you. And as you approach the shoreline, of course they are like in the jungle, so as you approach the shoreline you can hear a faint, tremendous roar coming from this other island here.
Okay, Lars perks his head.
Well, it's just
Turn back around.
faint roar.
Yeah.
It's a lightly, the jungle is very light, as you can see on the map here. It's more of a swampy area, and you just actually you heard it when you were closer to it, right? So as you moved by it, you could hear this faint roar on the island, and then.
So I think
Go ahead.
Mayra kind of glance over and just like one problem at a time. So she would move to the front of the rowboat and stand up so that it's obvious that she's drawing attention to herself and that we're not trying to sneak.
I'm sorry, one addition. These are again half-mile distances, so they are like a mile deep from the shore.
Okay.
Or like
All right.
half a mile, or you could.
But assuming that they can still, if as soon as possible,
Yeah.
she wants it to make them aware that we are not trying to hide our presence from them, so that and she would also make sure she keeps her hands down by her side, because yes, knowing that with animals, especially among the sea, they usually do this to make themselves look bigger and more imposing.
Yes.
Keep her hands to the side
Yeah.
to let know that it's not, that she's not trying to be a
Not
threat. She's trying to be non-threatening.
Well, they see you from very, very far, and they seem not to react. They feel, kind of so you could only spot them because they are like 15-20 feet high, right? So I mean, huge creatures in the jungle. They spot you, they see you, they turn to you, and they remain within the jungle foliage. They don't burst forth or come forth. You have a wide, several hundred feet, even 1,000 feet shoreline, a very wide shore, like beach line between you and the jungle, and they are even more like 500 feet into the jungle. As your rowboat just slows down on the sand, they don't move. They look at you. Maybe 2 of them just moves closer, keeping an eye. You can see them. They're huge forms running to these palm trees. Maybe one of them even climbs one of the mightier trees, which even bends under its weight, and tries to look at you from above. They have coconuts in hand, and they have these 2 put on these satchels that they carry the coconuts in, but these coconuts are like 5 feet across, so like huge coconuts.
We're rather.
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead, Rex.
I was going to say we're about to make some friends, or we're all about to die.
Yeah.
They look like giants, actually. They're the size of giants.
Put Celeste away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think get the rowboat ashore, get out of the rowboat, and stop, and then just watching them. So again, it's this very slow approach, showing that we're not trying to invade territory, we're not trying to be aggressive, we're not trying to be hostile. We're kind of, this is the nonverbal
Yes.
negotiating of, hey, let's possibly come together and start to communicate. So I think that's what Mayra would suggest to the group, and what she herself would do is just to get out, stop there on shore, and just then watch them and wait for their response, and then make the next move after that.
Each of you please roll an insight check and roll a charisma check. And also, Rax, what do you have in store in terms of spells and abilities?
So Rax is planning on, once we get to where they are approaching us and we're within communicating range, you said they're still like 500 feet out. Yeah, there's no, I didn't want to waste my spell before we have a chance to be close. So his goal, because he knows that he is not actually a great communicator, he's going to cast Enhance Ability on himself to boost his, actually, I don't think I can boost Charisma with that spell.
I think you can. Eagle Splendor.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Well, so his hope would be to cast Enhance Ability on himself. And it's exactly, you can do Eagle Splendor. You're right. And then to speak with animals as they get closer. So it would be like Enhance Ability, and then, which is a concentration spell, and then speak with animals before they get there. But it would have time on the approach. Right now, he's just doing whatever Mayra's doing, because she seems to have some ideas.
I rolled a 16 on insight. On the charisma, is that a persuasion or just straight?
Persuasion is
okay.
I rolled an 8 on insight. Oh, go ahead.
No, so sorry. Go ahead.
And a 20 on charisma.
And so it's 16 on insight and a 21 on the charisma check.
Insight for me, 18, charisma check, natural 20, and 20 for total.
Nice.
Ooh,
23
wow.
for Lars charisma.
Wow,
So
we're
we're
doing
a pretty
this.
charismatic group.
People to know. You want to be our friends.
I'm disappearing in this video, so one second, just turn the light on. I hope this helps. So, what you all can discern is that they are super hostile. So they are not here to talk. They're aggressive males that came to raid or hunt or whatever, and they are actually, you kind of like, I wouldn't say change your mind because that's your decision, but you know, there's a concern that arises in each of you, saying that okay, these just plain communicating with them might not be easy because they're not in the mood to speak, you know, friendly stuff. And then
So like stomping their feet and moving,
and
aggressive.
like roaring and ooh, you know, and stuff like that.
Is their boat close to the shore?
Yes.
We could, they have a boat. We could snake that boat. It's a bit bigger than our rowboat. Dip out of all this, ride along in style, and then they can't follow us. I'm just going to throw that out and then be quiet.
Nasty. Yeah. So your approach seems reasonable and well presented, but still, you know, this is not, you feel like with your insight checks, you feel that, you know, you are interrupting something here, and these are aggressive animals. Also, Rax, if Rax has any other spells, other means of, you know, working beasts, then maybe that's
Let's take a look here. We can actually.
Oh no.
Well, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to establish a telepathic link with one of them. We would all be smashed to pieces. My only plan was that if we were going to go talk to them, that I was going to cast Speak with Animals Enhance ability to help myself out with that. But listen, everyone, I don't know what they're doing here, and I'm starting to question our purpose because they don't seem to want us here. But they might be, going after all these minotaurs and all this. Maybe the minotaurs got one of their friends, and we can help them, and then they'll help us. Or we just, say, hey, so sorry. Or I can walk up there and ask them what the scuttlebutt is.
So they obviously use tools. They understand constructs. They have satchels. How far are we? How about we offer a gift? See how it goes. They obviously, I would expect them to be hostile if they're surrounded by minotaurs. I'm still not opposed to the idea that perhaps we can engage in some sort of trade with them as opposed to just stealing one of their boats. So what I would like
not be right.
Exactly.
Completely agree.
So what I would like to do is I would like to cast Create Food and Water, since they were obviously foraging for food. It creates 45 pounds of food, 30 gallons of water, enough to sustain up to 15 humanoids. So since they're larger, it would probably be enough to sustain half that number. And it says up to 15 humanoids or 5 steeds. So, and it only lasts for 24 hours, but, or it goes bad after 24 hours, but still a nice little gift to kind of maybe help supplement there. So Create Food and Water, it's got a range of 30 feet. So I'm not going to be able to, do it back in the tree line, but
leave it on the shore.
Yeah, but putting it on the shore probably
let's see. Please roll a nature check to see what apes fancy the most.
Coconut. They're hauling around a bunch of coconut. Well, either that or they're using the coconuts as ammunition.
Weapons. They are in the tree with giant coconut boulders ready to smash us to bits.
What's your nature? Others can help in if you discuss this, of course.
Yeah. Honestly, I turned to Lars because he's the ranger and so is Rax. I turned to Rax and Lars. You two are more acquainted with land and beast folk. Any ideas what these...
With 15, I say they eat everything.
I agree.
Do you think they might be bananas?
Bananas? So...
You haven't heard of this magical fruit?
This land is bananas. That's what I think.
So you create 35 pounds of the most delicious, sweetest fruits you can come up with, like the best mangoes and grapes and you think, with 15, Lars suggests that something that they could probably not find in their own environment, but would recognize and still consider very rare and delicious. And this food just appears in the sand, and you make them big, so like big grapes, big bananas, big mangoes, to fit them. And now your charismas come handy, and all of your high charisma rolls. You stand by and you kind of show, you offer these, and actually one of the apes just walks forward on all fours. It's massive hands.
Get back.
Massive hands just stomping in the first in the undergrowth and then in the sand, and sniffs heavily, and then you have this 5 minute just staring contest sort of, and you smile and walk back a bit and use all your skills to just and also direct each other how to behave, not to move and not to make any sudden movements, and then it just very suddenly rushes at the fruit and grabs one of the giant mangoes and runs back into the forest, and then starts
Watch out for the pit. Never mind.
That's how we kill them all, pits.
And then all of them, not all of them, like two of them rush forth and gather whatever they can in their huge hands and bring it into the jungle with them.
Do they say anything? Or?
They don't say anything. They sniff at the food. They look at you, all of you. They don't attack, which is quite an achievement. And they run back to the forest, to the jungle, and disappear with the fruits. But you can see their shapes, even on the tree, and which is again widely bent, and in the foliage, behind the foliage, kind of hiding and probably eating the food you offered.
Well,
All right.
we were planning on making camp as it was. We've traveled a full day, so perhaps keep a watch and make camp here, and perhaps we'll have better luck conversing with them or making contact in the morning. Thoughts?
But they are very, very close to you, so that's
That is definitely an idea. I do think that maybe making some more food would be nice. We only fed one of them. Maybe we make a bit more. And watches. Is this the best spot to make camp?
We can head
I'm
up.
not
We can head up the shore.
Oh,
Then we can head this way a little bit and make camp right around here. So it
I
shows
don't
that
mind it. I don't mind it. I'm just, I'm quite concerned with the huge gorillas. I would like to volunteer to take the first watch.
because our only other options would seem to be to travel across this way, where something even sounds larger and more dangerous apparently lives in the deep there. Or we have to force press to get further south so we can get past the village.
I think this is the place.
Yeah, we're already in range of them. We've made nice. We'll just keep the tension and
And I
stay here.
absolutely, yeah. So I like the idea of do another create food and water, and create. So I mean that's a total of what, 90 pounds of.
yes,
of
that's
food.
enough for them. Actually, the food
Let's all do it.
the food they took was of course more than enough for one of these giant apes. You create more food, and we will see in the next session where this goes.
Great.
We will remember the perfect charisma and persuasion checks you guys made, and how you slowly build up connection with the giant apes, the emerald back apes that reside or that
Making
hide.
friends with the locals.
Yes.
We go watch all the nature videos I can. and remember that Rack knows nothing.
So yeah, next session we continue from here. Thanks to everyone for watching. Thank you to John and April and Joe from Twice the Dice for being with us. Please visit April's and Joe's channel where they play Crown of the Oathbreaker. It's linked in the description below. Please check out elderbrain.com if you're interested in Torrents of the Spellhoarder and Crown of the Oathbreaker, and catch us on Discord anytime. Please also like and subscribe, and keep track of our future sessions, which are going to be very exciting as we continue with contacting the apes of Kirk Island. Thank you so much for being with us today. Bye.
See you guys. Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.